Hello, hello. Hope that you're doing absolutely fantastic today. So first things first, as per usual, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you've never seen my face, never seen one of my videos, my name is McKenna. I own a digital media company called Studio SB Creatives. And today, I just want to talk to you for a couple minutes, like I usually do, about all these different things that are important to building and maintaining a business. And I feel like I've touched on this topic maybe a couple times in the past, but I've never really taken the time to discuss it in depth. And with the holiday season being right around the corner, I felt like today might be a very good time to discuss the importance of building and maintaining relationships. Now, I'm going to be coming at this from kind of a business perspective, but the things that I'm going to talk about are definitely applicable to the facets of a personal life or personal lives as well. So let's just get started. So there's a lot of different things that are important to building and maintaining a business, but one of the most important things you can do is have good relationships with the people that you work with, whether they're colleagues, whether they're your higher ups, whether they are your clients. Having good relationships with those people will not only make your life a little easier, but it will make achieving a certain level of success that you have yet to reach a little bit easier. In a lot of different instances, it can provide you with security, which nowadays is a very, very, very important thing when it comes to a job or a business, running one, I should say. So how do relationships fit into that? Well, when looking at it from my personal perspective, I am a sole proprietor. I am the only person who really is involved directly with my business. I don't have any employees right now. I do a lot of contract work, so I deal with other business owners who hire me out to do a job, and when I'm doing those jobs, I am often involved with meeting clients. So the way that I'm going to kind of discuss this just for simplicity reasons is kind of a client relationship, business to client, business to business, that type of thing. So thinking about it that way, what are some ways that you can build and maintain relationships between yourself and a client or whoever? I know personally for me, and probably the most obvious one, is communication. Communication is probably, out of all the things I'm going to talk about today, the most important thing that you can do. Keeping up with emails, checking in, following up, making phone calls, sending texts, just being active in somebody else's subconscious, constantly being there, not too much, not like in an overbearing way, but in a way that just keeps you at the front of their brain. It keeps you kind of on their mind at all times. You want to be a person that they think about, maybe not every day, but at least once a month or so. It really depends on how much you need to communicate. But for example, when I'm doing some of my graphic design work for the company that I work with out in Las Vegas, back when I first started working there, they'd only meet with clients like once or twice a month. So keeping that relationship maintained only involved sending a text or making a phone call every couple weeks to set up shoot days and figure out what the plan was. But sending an extra text, checking in with things, getting to know the clients on a personal level, and just having a nice conversation with them that's not necessarily work related can go a super, super long way in maintaining said relationships. So it's like, just because you might be working with somebody once a month, once every couple months, whatever it may be, you don't just want to talk to those people right around the time you need to work with them. Be constantly in their mind, be constantly thinking of them. When I was working with my own personal client as like kind of a subdivision of what was going on, I was in constant communication with them. It was pretty much every day, even though it didn't need to be sometimes. But on the days or on the weeks that things were kind of off and there just wasn't a whole lot going on, I'd be scanning like the internet looking for the next best thing or just ideas that I could run by them just to keep the communication kind of going. Like if I saw a reel that we could recreate, or a TikTok, or a certain design trend, things like that, where I run it. Like, we might not have to speak for a couple days or a couple weeks at a time, but I just send them out of the blue, like, hey, I came across this idea, thought about you guys, what do you think about doing this the next time that we meet, or the next time that you have us create something? And that just kind of keeps the ball rolling and just keeps up with that communication, which therefore kind of keeps you at the forefront of their mind. So with that being said, if there's anything that you take away from today, if you want to keep, build, maintain relationships, communication is going to be your best friend. Now, on the other hand, sometimes communication just isn't enough. Sometimes the communication isn't as in depth as it needs to be. Sometimes it's very bland, there's not a whole lot going on, and just keeping up with the conversation or checking in every once in a while just isn't going to do the trick. So what are some other ways that you can go kind of above and beyond to keep building and maintaining relationships beyond communication? I'm actually going to be kind of stealing some ideas from the real estate side of what I do now, because I see a lot of client realtor relationships, and while I'm not necessarily involved in those relationships, my relationship is more so with the realtors and the builders and the people in charge of the properties. But when it comes to the client relationships with the realtors and those of such, a lot of times not only are they in constant communication with their clients, but when they close on a house or they close on a sale, a lot of times the realtors will just kind of go above and beyond and get them some sort of gift, some sort of token of their appreciation to say thank you for working with me, and it just keeps you in their good graces. I know sometimes realtors will buy new homeowners like a bottle of wine or champagne or a gift basket. Sometimes they'll do little things like gift cards, and when it comes to those kind of relationships, you just have like your working class people with your realtors, and they're not that hard to impress, but a really thoughtful gift can go a long way. Now, in a business to business relationship where you're dealing with other owners, it might be a little bit different. You might have to step your game up a little bit, but essentially it's the same premise. Keeping a business relationship, but then also having a personal relationship with these people, and then just being very thankful, showing them that you are appreciative of their work, or appreciative of having them as a client, and getting them some sort of gift or offering them something in return for working with you after X amount of time could really go a long way. If you're in the service industry, sort of like I am, you can offer them like a new package that you're developing to try out, or you can every once in a while throw in something for free, or make it seem like they're getting just a little bit more off the top than someone else might be, making them feel a little bit special. And that actually kind of goes into the last thing that I want to talk about, which is beyond communication and beyond just gifts or tokens of appreciation, making people feel like they actually matter, I think is the best way to touch them on a deeper level. Showing them that you are appreciative all the time, just really going in depth on that idea, showing them that they are an important part of your life, of your business model, of your career, of whatever, I feel like will go a long way. And when you go above and beyond for them, and you show them that they matter, and you make them feel like they matter to you, I feel like that builds a very strong bond between you and this other person, this other client, this other business, whatever it may be. Because communication, bare minimum, but probably the most important. Gift giving can sometimes be a hit or miss if you really don't know them that well. It can come off as kind of shallow if you get them something that they don't really care for as a gift, or go above and beyond for them in a way that doesn't really reflect their needs in any sort of way. But building a personal relationship with these people, and then showing them that they truly actually matter to you and what you're trying to do as a person, as a business, I feel like can go a super long way. And when you mix these three things together, you mix communication, you mix personal relationships, you mix going the extra mile by giving a gift or providing some sort of service on top of their usual service, I feel like is the absolute recipe for building and maintaining long-term relationships that keep you secure, keep you happy, keep them happy, and just provide you a level of success that even if things start going wrong, you have them to rely on. So do with that information what you will. I don't really have too much more to say. I feel like if I keep talking like I usually do, I'm just going to be going in circles. So I'm just going to wrap that up here. But like usual, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to talk about anything that I discussed, you have questions, comments, you have personal experiences with doing some of the things I've talked about, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear about the relationships that you have built, the relationships that you have maintained, how you build new relationships, how you maintain existing relationships after X amount of time. I'd love to hear about all of that. So please leave me a comment. Leave a comment for the other people who are going to watch this video. And lastly, if you want to see more videos like this, you want to see what crazy adventures I get up to in the future, because they're coming. The crazy adventures, they're on their way. I'm working on it. I've had a long year. This is something I really want to do. I want to get out and do more things. Or you just want to see more of my face, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you on the next one.